I am making a Stereo Madness remake, and this is how it is looking like so far. And today I'll be finishing it. Yes, you heard it right. Myself, actually finishing a level. It has been a long journey of 3 episodes, and I'm honestly really proud of this project and kinda surprised that I actually made it until the end. Anyways, I'm gonna be showing you how I made this level, so yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so today I'm gonna be remaking that red part from Stereo Madness, in which is one of the last ones from the level. And believe it or not, I actually had some cool ideas for it, surprisingly. The first thing I did was this spike, and for its details, I decided to use some of those wavy slopes. And not gonna lie, I think I finally managed to make a slightly different looking spike after all these years of playing this game. After making this spike, I made a kind of variation of it, and just spammed these 2 spikes all over this part. And then I decided to start making the block design. I didn't want to do anything too complicated for it, since I wanted the main focus of this part to be the background, so I just made a very simple thing here. Just spammed some blocks, made a variation from it, a 3D, and just placed these 2 blocks all over the part, as you can see here. Then, for the platforms, I made this very glowy one using some slopes and obviously glow, and also I decided to make a small variation from it real quick. Yes, as you can tell, I really like making variations. After spamming the platforms in this part, the block designs were actually done in 20 minutes, but we don't talk about that. After finishing the block designs, I decided to go crazy with the background for this part. I really had a cool idea for it, but at the same time, I was so unsure if it was actually gonna work. Like for real, I almost gave up on it in the middle of the building process because I was genuinely worried about it. As you can see here, I basically started making a gigantic fake Stereo Madness structure behind everything in this part, using 3D lines as its outlines and using some fake spikes on top of it, so you know, it doesn't kill the player. After it, I made it all move leftwards, and when I looked at it, it was looking kinda terrible, to be honest. It's just that the background was blending in with the blocks too much. Like, it didn't stand out and it was just making it look really messy in general, so yeah, I was pretty sad with it right off the bat. But then, I had an idea to add a detail that would straight up save this background, and this detail was nothing more, nothing less than glow. Yes, I added some glow in front of the blocks and made some more structures behind it, and it actually gave it a cool parallax effect and made it really stand out from the block designs from the parts. So it was the moment I realized that my idea was actually going to work. After making a lot of blocks with the parallax effects and glow, I made a lot of gigantic Stereo Madness pillars in this background and made them have a cool parallax effect as well. I even made some pillars in front of everything in the T3 layer, so it gets even cooler, maybe. And finally, I just did some moves on it all, making everything in this background go up and down, and to finish it off, I made this pretty cool transition that makes all the blocks from the background kinda emerge from the ground as soon as you get in this part. And yeah, the background is basically done, and honestly, I couldn't be more proud of it. This part is pretty much complete for me at this point, but of course, I do have to put some extra things to give it a little more charm and make it less empty. The first thing I decided to make was the ground spikes, and since I've used the same ground spikes throughout the entire level, I decided to use a different one for this part, just to make it less repetitive. After putting some ground spikes, I made some arrows and some saws on top of it, and I think it looks really nice actually. After copying and pasting the ground spikes a lot, I made some glow lasers under some blocks, and then I decided to make some things to fill in the top part of this section. And since I had no idea of what to do, I decided to just make some more block designs real quick. But again, since I wasn't feeling like putting effort in it, I decided to use my secret ultimate block design rushing technique. And this technique consists on making all the block designs at the same time and then copying and pasting them all around the part. I basically started to make a lot of different structures. I made some glow in them, a 3D, and for their details, I just made a lot of colorful squares, and also I made some ground spikes around them. And yeah, as you can see, I basically managed to finish about 7 blocks in 10 minutes. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, my ultimate technique that you should really avoid using, otherwise you're gonna become as lazy as me. Anyways, I just spread these block designs all over this part and it was finished. Now it is time to make the air deco, and while I was playing this level, messing around, just thinking about what else I could be adding here, I suddenly had an inner thought telling me to add some blue details in this part for some reason. And I don't even know why, but I decided to give these inner thoughts a listen and actually try to do what they told me. I started adding some of those Stereo Madness blocks with a blue base behind them, and then I just made a little nice arrow in it and just copy and pasted it around the part, especially under the blocks on top, so it looks like they're coming out from under them. And then I just made a small version from it, a diamond shaped air decoration, copy pasted them around the part as well, and finally just made some blue glow lasers on certain places of the part, and the air deco was basically done. Now I will just make a little funny thing in the middle of this section just for fun. So, as some of you know, recently I made a voting poll on my community section asking what would be the best name for this Stereo Madness remake I'm doing, and the winner option was this one. SM2 feature please LOL. And since I really like this name, I'm gonna add a small reference to it here in the middle of this section. I basically made some blue rectangles here, and then I made some black blocks in the middle of them and made some details to resemble a TV here, just like that. After it, I wrote in the middle of them sequentially feature please lol, and this is how it looks like. Now this level is bound to get a feature, I have no doubt about it. The last thing I'm gonna do here is just to add some moves on the blocks at the speed of light. I'll basically make everything go up and down as I always do, and yeah, this entire section was done within a day, and you can call me crazy, but I'm gonna do the next one as well and finish this entire level right now. I had a pretty cool idea for the next section, and I will explain this idea to you right now. First, I started to make a glow style block design. Nothing too different from what I always do. I just made a lot of glow lasers and random things, and then I just copy and pasted it and its details to all the other blocks in this part. And then I did a rather weird thing. I put all the blocks in a group and made them disappear. Why would you make all the blocks disappear, you may ask me? And I'll tell you, my friends, it's for this. So basically, this part alternates between the old and the new Stereo Madness decoration. Looks pretty cool, right? After block designs, I just decided to make some ground spikes here, using some slopes and spikes. And after it, I decided to make the air deco. Honestly, looking at the vast emptiness that Stereo Madness offers, I found myself lost in ideas once again. And whenever I am without ideas for air decos, I always go to the never failing option to make a gigantic blocks wall with arrows in the middle of it. Come on, don't blame me, it's not my fault that it actually works really well, okay? Even with the blocks walls and the arrows I made, this part still had a lot of really empty spots, so I just decided to make some really gigantic arrows to fill in the empty space, and surprisingly, it worked, and don't even ask me why. After making the air deco, I just made a tea tree glow in this part, because it always looks good, and then I decided to make a particles effect in this section, because I thought it would really fit to this song. Like seriously, just listen to it and tell me that it doesn't fit to some particles. And finally, I just made some air deco in the coin root of the level, and this is how the last part is looking like. At this point, this level is practically done. I just need to make a little nice ending art here real quick. So the first thing I did was ask my friend Hugo to help me get the background from the ship part of this level and move it to the end screen of it, in which somehow he did it easily, and I don't know how he does it. This guy knows absolutely everything about triggers in this game. Check him out, by the way, he's a really good creator. And after it, I just made a little nice art that will surely fit to the name of this level and to my channel itself as well, obviously. This is the final result. I honestly don't think I've ever seen any ending art better than this one, to be honest. To actually finish this entire level off, I added the name of the members from my channel in random places of it. Thank you all so much, by the way, I really appreciate your support. And after a long 3 episodes journey, I finally managed to finish this entire level. And this is how it looks like. Here's the ID if you wanna check it out. I'll leave it in the description as well, so you can copy it if you want. It was a really fun experience to build this, to be honest, and I'm glad I actually managed to finish a level after all these years of playing this game. But anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.